I did a lot of work on myself in the last 2 years, therapy, men's group, all kinds of stuff. And I really thought it was getting a lot better. But then 2 weeks ago, my wife dropped the bomb on me via text while I was at a staff meeting at work. And the last 2 weeks have just been nuts. We're both in the same house. We really agreed that we want to keep it as normal as possible for the children. She went out and got an attorney, and I think she found out how much it's going to cost. And now she's really trying to pressure me into doing mediation. She's just really upset. She's the primary breadwinner, and she's just really upset about the financial situation and all that. And so I think the toughest thing now for me is balancing taking care of myself without trying to trigger her more, because I know she already feels trapped.
So if she's wanting divorce at this point, it's a business relationship. That's the first
Right.
frame to realize. And so her emotions are okay. Whatever emotions that she's feeling are okay. Let me show you a graphic. So this is the Stoic triangle. And so there's 3 sides to the Stoic triangle. Virtue, which means what are my values? What are my boundaries? What are the hills that I'm willing to die on? Who am I as a man that I want to bring out into the world? Control is simply what can I control and what can I not control? And responsibility, stepping up and taking responsibility for my virtues, my values, and for what I can control. So you can't control her emotions. You have your set of values of who you are as a man, and you can take responsibility for those things.
How do I take care of myself without appearing as if I'm just trying to drag this out? Because that's what I'm getting now is I'm just trying to hurt her with getting attorneys. But really, I just don't trust her in a mediation because she's just so angry. How do I take care of myself without pushing her away more with this decision?
Sure.
Maybe that's not
Okay.
possible.
That's a good question. That's a good question. I mean, I don't know how much more you could push her away. She
Yeah,
she want
right.
right. You can't control her narrative. You can't control what she is going to think that you're. So you can't control her. You can't control her emotions. So in the Stoic triangle here, your virtue. How do I take care of myself is your question. And basically,
Mhm.
you don't want her to feel more upset or more angry as you take care of yourself. So you can't control her emotions.
Right.
You can't control her narrative, but you can control virtue here would be what do you believe you need to do to take care of yourself? So what do you believe you need to do?
I really believe I need to get a lawyer and someone that'll look out for what I want, what I need for my kids. And then also, she really wants to focus on being co-parents that go out to dinner all the time. And I feel like if we go through mediation, it's going to be us arguing about this stuff for months. Whereas if we had lawyers, we can hand it to our lawyers, they can take care of it, and we don't really have to interact as much on that level of sorting out stuff.
So there's a few concepts here. One is called defer to an authority. And this is what you're saying of getting a third party authority, a lawyer involved, so that you don't have to try to jockey everything and defend yourself and explain to her and so you bring an authority in that you can defer to. Often the person who makes more money is going to be upset because law says that you're entitled to most likely alimony, or division of assets is going to be different. And so she's going to be upset about that. If you try to just appease her and give her something that the law would say otherwise, if you cave and try to appease her, there's rarely an end to her demand, to what she may feel is like fair. And here's the reason that it's different from a man to a woman. Now, this is not politically correct. Okay. A man will often feel virtue within himself by sacrificing. And this has been driven by, millennia of our instinctual desires to go out and fight and sacrifice ourselves. And, we got to save the children, and eggs are more valuable than sperm, and evolutionary biology, evolutionary psychology. So we might feel virtue in sacrificing for ourselves. And you want her to respect you and have a good co-parenting relationship, but it's not the same in reverse, meaning she doesn't have the same desire as you as a man to sacrifice and give so that you feel respect for her. That she doesn't feel the same way. So if you start to cave, she'll feel upset by your weakness. She'll feel upset that you don't have a frame or boundaries or values for your own self. It's like she were to push you in the chest. You would move. You'd want to move as a man, metaphorically. You'd want to move. You're not a statue. But if you stumble backwards and then try to give her more because she's upset, and then she shoves you again, like, well, I really should have all the 401k because I've made more money than you, kind of thing. then, and you stumble backwards again and you give in again, it only upsets her feeling. She doesn't feel safe and she won't be able to respect you. And I've seen this lots. So it becomes a downward spiral of negotiation, trying to appease her, defending yourself. And she steps in and steps in and steps in. And as you stumble backwards, she will continue to lose respect for you. So it won't make her happy. If part of your goal is, I just want her to be happy, it won't make her happy for you to just give in. So what I've seen is the cleanest is you can go to mediation, but if it's going to be a different delineation than what lawyers would ask for, you need to know what you're willing to do. If you have a range of what you're willing to do, I'm willing to do between this number and this number, then that offers her some more psychological freedom. So if you go to mediation, offers her more psychological freedom versus I'm only going to do this one number. If you give a range, and then if she wants to blow past that range, you say, well, I guess we're going to have to get attorneys involved because I'm not comfortable with that. So that's a tactical way for potentially to do mediation that offers her some more psychological freedom. But otherwise, you have to stand up for what you believe is right from a grounded place. And it would help, it would serve you to post about this in the forum, anonymously. Don't put specific numbers or anything in, but hey, this is what I think I need to do for my own self. Guys in the community, give me feedback, ask me questions. Am I seeing this in a kingly way?